Coach, for a long time, I think maybe forever, I've struggled with imposter syndrome. The feeling that I don't deserve to be in the room that I'm in and that everybody else knows about it. And they're about to call you out. They're about to 300 kick you out of the space. And I wrote about it in our first book, Love is a Business Strategy. And I'm wondering, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if you have, is there any remedy to it? Or how do you view it in the context of the work that you do every day?
Yes. I mean, I played Division III football, a non-scholarship. I tell people I was so bad at football, I had to pay a school $30,000 a year just to play it in college. Right?
Okay.
And my family wasn't in coaching, you know, and sometimes you get in these rooms and you're around some of these, I don't know, legends and, you know, guys that coming up in the business you have put on a pedestal, and that can be intimidating, certainly. I think reminding yourself a little, it's hard for people who are naturally humble or deflect praise or whatever to praise themselves, right? Very hard.
Yeah.
And it's something that I struggle. I don't probably give myself enough pats on the back, you know, and all of that. But I think just a reminder, I'm not a psychologist, so I don't have all of the greatest of answers to, I can just tell you what I did.
Yeah, tell me what you did.
Which was, I just reminded myself constantly. I try to understand that, hey, I'm here for a reason, you know, and it wasn't by accident, it wasn't by happenstance, and, you know, yes, did I have some breaks along the way, but thousands of people have had breaks and done nothing with them, right? At least I made good on the breaks that were given to me. I'd like to think I made my own breaks at times too. So I think any kind of that positive self-talk certainly can help. Any reminder of previous times when you had knocked it out of the park, you know, those always helped me, because I mean, I don't, it doesn't matter how many games I win, you know, am I ever going to, you know, put myself in Nick Saban's category? You know, I'm never going to do that. So when you're in a room with him, it's a little bit difficult to feel on equal footing. But I don't know that you have to sacrifice one for the other. When I'm in a room with legends or higher ups even, you know, I pay them the reverence they deserve, but I also try to remind myself of, you know, that I deserve to be there.
Who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when you think about the 6 pillars of love that we talk about in our first book, in Love is a Business Strategy, we talk about inclusion, empathy, forgiveness, vulnerability, trust, and empowerment. Those 6 kind of framing behavioral components to building culture. The one that I hear most often is the most challenging for leaders is vulnerability. And I'd love for you to share how you show up in vulnerability, how you could maybe dismantle or reframe vulnerability for those that are struggling with that, men and women, in regards to how they show up for their teams or their people. What does it look like to you?
Just honesty. You know, I'm a very trusting person by nature. It gets me into trouble at times. Like I trust everybody until they betray my trust, and sometimes that betrayal is a big a big punch in the face. But the vulnerability part, I don't know how you connect with someone. I don't know how you have empathy, if you can't relate it to things that you've been through. You know, I use an example, like I've had kids all the time walk in with mental health problems. I go right to telling them about my struggles, and I go to a therapist and I talk, and I'm on medicine and all that stuff. And you want to talk about walls being
just falling.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Or got problem. A lot of kids don't come from a great home life. Well, you see a rich white guy sitting in the head coach chair, you probably think he had it made. And I tell them the story about my dad dying in a homeless shelter when he was 52, and drugs and alcohol and all that. And it's like, whoa, and so I don't know that was ever difficult for me. Certain things are, and we don't got to tell them our deepest, darkest secrets, but right. I think if there is something that's relatable, that maybe you've been through a failure even, where you can be human, in front of these people, it just, the walls start falling completely. But I also get that is difficult for people to do.
Yeah, and that's why I was wondering is, how can we get from that fear, maybe, that's holding us back from being, or maybe even not fear, maybe it's conditioning to not be vulnerable in these moments because it's unprofessional, it's unbecoming.
I feel relief when anytime I'm vulnerable with a player or a coach. Like, it's like, oh, there's another time I got to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel relieved.
Right.
So I think the stigma of it, but two, it doesn't come from a position of weakness, I think is what, because a lot of what we're talking about is maybe admitting some flaws.
Absolutely.
Right?
We don't have it all together.
We don't have it all together. Yeah. I don't have all the answers. Right? Yeah.
Right.
And that's hard for leaders to do, because you think a leader is supposed to be seen as this kind of supreme being that is perfect in every way. But again, and like, take all of the feel-good stuff out of it. At the end of the day, we're talking about results. And we're talking about maximizing the genetic potential of another human being. Right? God has set their genetic potential at whatever, 40-yard dash, to their genetic potential to do calculus, to their genetic potential to lead a company. Right? Our job as coaches, as leaders, as mentors, is to get that person as close to that genetic potential as possible. And I don't know, so whether this is comfortable for you or not, if you as a leader believe that this is going to get my guy, or my gal to do their job better, then do it. You know what I mean? Like, right. Who cares about, I guess I'm trying to motivate those that feel uncomfortable with this.
That's right.
Then look at it as a results-oriented task that you have to do. Yeah. Like, I have to do this to get the most out of that person. It is going to be uncomfortable for me to do it, but if I don't do it, this person will never perform for our team the way that I need them to perform.
And I think what ends up happening is a leader may take on that discomfort and say, you know what, I'm going to embrace this discomfort. I'm going to try it. Outside of my wheelhouse. I don't turn on that type of vulnerable moment until I'm out of the office or whatever with my family or my friends. And then they try it. And what they realize is, like you said, those walls start coming down. And you recognize that power and the ability to lead and motivate is not equal to the lack of vulnerability you show.
Right.
And oftentimes what we experience is that the more vulnerable leaders are, it's not that people take advantage of it, is that there's more relationship. And that relationship creates those results we're looking for. And so it may be challenging to people that are sitting here going, there's just no way that a relationship equals results in the workplace.
Yeah, that would be the disconnect then. Yeah, if you don't believe that, then you probably aren't going to be motivated then to be vulnerable.
I don't think you are.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't see it as there's an opportunity for a relationship to build towards this person being the best they can ever be, then I'm just going to reject it entirely.
Correct.
That's a challenging place. And I think that's actually where a lot of leaders sit.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're right. And again, I think it's in framing of, and not just how we as practitioners of
Sure.
this and teachers of
Yeah.
this task, it is something really, really foreign to a lot of people, because some people don't even do that in their personal lives,
Right.
let alone,
Or they've been hurt by it.
or correct.
So they're coming at it from that perspective
Right.
as well. So it's a challenging place to be, and it's not, none of it's easy.
No.
And usually what we've experienced is that your experiences do shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your behavior, right? And so oftentimes when we talk about vulnerability or forgiveness in the workplace and people are like shrinking back,
Yeah.
what we're seeing is their experiences underneath who they are have shaped that belief that they have.
Yes.
Right? And so it's our job. It's our job as a coach. It's my job as a practitioner of this to help craft new experiences, to shape new beliefs.
And don't you, like, if you're trying to, that's great that you said the last thing, shape new beliefs. If you're trying to shape new beliefs, don't you, isn't it a requirement that you know what the current beliefs are?
I think you have to know that.
Right?
Right.
And so the only way is
Yeah.
to have a relationship with that person.
So we're getting back to the core,
Right.
which is it's a real human being.
Right.
These are real people we're talking about. And we're not working with robots yet.
Right.
Right?
Not yet.
I guess not yet. But the reality is, if you want to create those experiences to get to results, to get whatever you need,
Yeah.
you have to understand their beliefs. You have to be able to, or be willing to dig deeper to understand who they are at a human level. And Coach, I've been deeply transformed by this work. I mean, like you've heard my other co-authors say, it has radically transformed my life. And the big part about this for me is my home life. Because I used to see myself as an imposter, walls up, shields up, Death Stars impenetrable, and I would go home and I would be myself. And then I would come to work and I'd be a different version of
The
myself.
severance.
And I'm a big fan of that show.
Yeah.
And I love that Ben Stiller and Dan Erickson have created this world in which people immediately see how hard it is on the human body to sever your
Two
identity
different people. Yeah.
and to decide to step into that place. And our goal is to bring people together to say, you are one person. And the work you do every day on the field with your boys, and the work that we do every day in the boardroom, we're doing similar things.
Yeah, very similar.
We're trying to help people be the best they can possibly be, and to see themselves as winners.
Yep.
Right? And so for me, that is an incredible inspiration, because I no longer look at myself as one way at home and one way at work.
Right.
I'm seeing myself as one person. And I hope we get a chance to share more of that with the world.
Me too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.